Launch control, race start. Still frustrated with the C63 4-cylinder? Well, Dr. Thomas prescribes you today the Mercedes-AMG CLE 53 6-cylinder power for you with an aggressive look and even more. Driving it today, Thomas now do it in 4K, full screen, full length. Let's go with my Alpine Grey shirt and the Alpine Grey paint. This is a uni paint, by the way, so no metallic paint. I think it looks just stunning. One of my favorite colors here, actually. Pretty cool. Here, the AMG version of the CLE has this so-called Panamericana grille. I think they don't call it that way anymore, but they used to call it this way. Here in the lower part it's wider, slimmer in the upper part, vertical accentuations. This is also equipped with the optional carbon fiber package. You can see it in the lower part, for example. A nice light signature, also when you hit the turning indicators. And here, special for the AMG version, here we have this air outtake here on top of the hood, signalizing all the power. We're soon going to take a look at the engine and also give you all the acceleration figures and so on. Wheels, 19 to 20 inch. These are the biggest 20-inch wheels. They look pretty cool in this multi-spoke styling. With the AMG Dynamic Plus pack, you also get the red brake calipers, and then you also get the launch control with it. 4MATIC Plus means it's an all-wheel drive, but it still has rear-wheel bias, and it's more variable than with the normal CLE version. 4.85 m or 191 inches is the length. And you get adaptive suspension here as a standard, of course with the sportier AMG setting, and also rear axle steering. The rear wheels can move up to 2.5 degrees in the opposite direction, and that is also standard in here for the CLE AMG version. It's not available for the convertible, by the way. And the normal CLE, you can get rear axle steering in Europe, but not for the US. So if you want a CLE with rear axle steering and you're in Northern American market, then you have to say, maybe at home, yeah, that's why we need the AMG, you know. Then here in the rear, you can see the light signature. In the middle part, this blacked out part, which is not really my favorite. And here you can also choose in which color you want to have the AMG badge, depending on the package you get. In the lower part, more carbon fiber with this pack. And the exhaust, auto-computer fake exhaust police, is active because the real exhaust on the inside, at least the air does run through here. A normal Mercedes CLE now, which is kind of like this merging of C-Class and E-Class coupe or convertible, already comes with a CLE 450. Then 3-liter 6-cylinder with 381 horsepower. Here it makes 450 horsepower. Why? Here it's not only the turbo, but also an electric compressor that adds a little bit more horsepower, and especially there that you have more power in the mid-range figures of the RPM. Very interesting. Plus 23 horsepower from the electric boost, because this is also a mild hybrid engine. And you've already seen here, for an additional rigidity measure, you have this dome strut here connecting these two domes. That's why it's also called dome strut. And yeah, this can save you then from the 4-cylinder frustration. Key fob, it's really nice. AMG badge on the back part. Then frameless doors, of course, and yeah, for that, doesn't have the best door closing sound. Rare vehicles with frameless doors also have good closing sound. And here, inside of the doors, everything is covered. And the inside of the door pockets, however, yeah, this is then again hard pack. At that price, not so sure about that. Steering wheel, you can get different steering wheels. This one here with the microfiber on the sides, but you can get also one that is almost entirely microfiber. That would be my favorite. Is also microfiber here. Here in AMG style is always with a 2-spoke design. This here, as soon as I hit the ignition, then you also have these additional controls. On the right side, you can control the driving modes. It's actually very good to do that while driving. On the left side, for example, separately the suspension also. Then the seats, these are the normal sport seats, and you can already get them with microfiber. You can also get the performance seats, also with microfiber on the inside. These are then holding you a little bit tighter. These are a little bit more open, just like the Decision. But the most comfortable setup would be here the comfort, not called comfort seats, the normal sport seats with the microfiber setup. That is the most comfortable and also the most animal-friendly choice. So that's my recommendation, and with the microfiber steering wheel. With the 189 6x2 still leaves some headroom. One of my favorite features here, the fail again. One of my favorite features here, we let that in editing, it's maybe funny. Here, seat belt reacher, there we go. Easy comfort feature, that's pretty nice, isn't it? Both for coupe and convertible. Here when you open the door, it goes back again. Interesting, by the way, when I put the seat forward, you can see that the head restraint automatically moves down like this. And when I move backward again, it moves up again. It's interesting, isn't it? Also manually adjustable here like this, also possible. Cockpit, I really love these turbine vents here. Yeah, great in styling. Also ambient lighting is around there, and they have a clicking sound as well. It's pretty nice. Vertical screen setup. Here we have more carbon fiber. I think it really fits then in this whole scheme, definitely. But then a lot of high gloss piano lacquer here. There we go. And we slide them open. You have adaptive cup holders here, but they don't hold the bottles tight enough, I feel, to USB-C chargers. There's also inductive charging pad in here. That is also cooled, so the phone doesn't overheat. I think that's a great idea. Then split opening here, more USB-C and space underneath, and the opening and closing sounds are actually quite nice here overall throughout the vehicle. Also here the shifting pedals. They give you really great feedback that makes fun, or is fun, to shift them on your own. And you have this really racy-like position here. The question is it also as much fun to drive like in the C-Class? Because the technology of this vehicle is more C-Class. The price is more E-Class. And the length is also more E-Class coupe. So the question is, when it's like larger and everything, does that mean less fun in driving? We'll find out today. The screen itself here, in the vertical orientation, the volume can be adjusted right here, but I usually do it at the steering wheel, then with the swiping, #capacitive BS, and the climate unit always stays here in the lower part. The car internal GPS is also well usable, I have to say. And what they have also done here, installed the recent software version, so you have this, like these bigger tiles now where you can easier select between the different modes, and you have special AMG performance gauges here. Then you have these telemetry data, and also this famous new IWC analog digital clock, so to speak, the stopwatch here with the animation. But usually I have the feedback that people want the real analog clock here in the vehicle. What about you? Tell me in the comments. Test seating here in the performance seats, this also with animal skin, and yeah, it's even stiffer. It has more, shoulder support, however. So most difference is really when you have the microfiber, then it's more comfortable. So the most comfortable setup would be the base sport seat with the microfiber, and the least comfortable, probably this combination, animal skin and the performance seats. Here the panoramic roof is also inbuilt. There is a normal shade, and then you can have some kind of compromise between coupe and convertible, let's take it that way. So there we go, because this is still a panoramic roof you can actually open. There we go. It's actually very large considering that vehicle, both in the width and here also in the length. Now Leah is helping us with the seat setup, because when she is on the passenger seat and she is going all the way forward, so what is maximum possible, then the question is, can I still fit behind her in the back seat? Going towards the rear, so pull the strap here, there we go. Then the seat goes a little bit upward and also forward, so that's actually a good idea. There we go. Then I can slip in there, let's try. There we go. So, and well, the main problem is that, first of all, it's a black hole here, basically. The rules of gravity do still, well, the rules of gravity also count in the black hole. Just, the rules of time are different topic. So, well, with 189 6'2", I do hit the ceiling with my head. So the thing is, here on the driver's side, I could not sit here with my legs when I'm sitting myself on the driver's seat. So it's not enough space for 4 tall Ls, but is there enough for 3? Let's move over to behind imaginary Leah. And this is working actually. So when Leah is sitting on the passenger seat, then I could sit behind it. So 3 tall adults does work. Anything above that, you have to have some kind of a compromise. But the comfort is also really tiny, slim, and it's more, to me, let's say, upgraded emergency seats. when you use the rear view camera, here the logo is flipping, and the second use case is when you open the trunk, then it does it as well. There we go, 420 liters, and this is 1.40 meters in width, and this is wider in the very front part and a little bit more narrow in the back part. See here, the cabin trolley fits in also in a vertical way, and the length here is about 1 meters and 8 or 42 inches. But here, look at that, deep in there, this is a hard plastic covering, and I think it's not the real premium approach, is it? And I would like to release the seats from here, actually, but that's not possible. I mean, it's... Leah's laughing now. Yeah, I mean, it's even possible in the convertible, but it's not possible here in the coupe. Why is that? Underneath, by the way, there's some more space, and also this Mercedes shopping basket. That's actually a nice idea, but why the hell is there no release for the seats here? So, yeah, gonna have to go around. Now, Ghost releasing it for you. This is, by the way, 2/3, 1/3 split, but the middle part is also possible to fold it down separately as a ski hatch. So, there we go. Then now, yeah, that's actually still well usable. Launch control, race start. Whoa, seatbelt is holding us really tight. There's an additional safety mechanism. Yeah, the Leah meter was off the scale, also due to the sound. Yeah, that is more extreme than with the CLE 450, definitely. Although in the, just the pure acceleration figure, you don't have big difference. This was uphill, by the way. It was 0 to 100. Wow, very impressive, pretty cool, and adrenaline gets going. And also here the steering, nice input. I want to take you on this perspective here as well. You can also see Leah's reaction that he's actually enjoying it. So yeah, when the vehicle is well designed, also the passenger can enjoy fast and agile driving. So I'm really happy here with the steering input. See here, very precise, going in the corner, on the gas, Sport Plus mode, accelerating out. Nice 6-cylinder. That's also just has more character than the 4-cylinder actually. You have to think about, however, that the C63, C43, they are also very good in the agile driving. So not that it's worth to spend all the hate on these vehicles there, but the 6-cylinder has definitely more character. That's what you definitely feel. And I really think that here in the AMG version, the CLE is actually better than the normal CLE 450 because the wider track and the little sportier setup fits the vehicle very well. It feels a little bit lighter than in this setup. Yeah, here the motorcycle drivers are also taking that route here. At the same time, when you go to the comfort mode again, for example, you have almost the same comfort, and yeah, price-wise, it really more depends on how you spec the vehicle, and easily to switch the drive mode at the steering wheel directly. And this here, like following these corners is so much fun. Love that. Sport mode. Plop. Woo! That was 40 to 120. Nice performance. Yes, the 6-cylinder is back with AMG. Also here, towards this, let's say, more affordable segment, besides an AMG GT and so on, we still have an 8-cylinder. So yes, this is more emotional than the C63. However, there's also a larger vehicle, and soon we'll also go in some dynamic bends and so on and see how it is as for, driving in the corners and so on. Here, more driving straight. Motorway, sport mode is of course a stiffer suspension. Comfort mode then a little bit more forgiving, and then it's also more or less comparable with like CLE 450. There's not much comfort loss than here in the comfort mode. In the comfort mode, when we do like a lane change here at higher speeds, nice and really precise from the steering wheel as well. In the sport mode, more feedback from suspension, also from the throttle input here, for example. Great grip at the microfiber steering wheel, and here at the moment the surface is very nice on this motorway. Then it's no problem also to drive with the sport mode all the time as for the suspension mode and so on. It's actually also a good motorway cruiser here. So when I set the cruise control here, also with the active lane keeping assist, it's keeping me also in the lane. Also the distance to the cars in front of me is being checked. There we go. Always when you see this green symbol here from that steering wheel with the 2 arrows. Yeah, there we go. Then it's actually activated. 9-speed converter, automatic gearbox. It's also doing a good job. And well, the sound, of course, in the Northern American market versions, it will be even more pronounced when you heard that on the exterior. These are here the European vehicles. And always when you want to access the power, yeah, it's right there. Definitely more fun to drive the 6-cylinder than to just drive a tuned 4-cylinder, where you also don't have the maximum power available at all time. And yeah, here you just always have that power. And also at 120 kilometers an hour here is decently silent, so very well insulated, as well as we also expect that from Mercedes, and also at that price point. Yeah, so I like that too. Has a good feeling on the motorway. Comfort from the seats could be indeed better, as I said earlier. If you have the microfiber surface, that definitely helps. But the competitors are playing out Mercedes at this moment as for the comfort game in these seats here. Yeah, just have to be aware of that. And also these shifting pedals, you can always shift down a gear or something, then you can directly access the gears a little bit better. That's also a nice thing. But how agile is it in the corners? Right, there we go. Ah, nice. That's cool. Oh, we also have some spectators here. Then shifting pedals, you can easily shift it back. Very nice. And then out. Ah, yeah, really have this feedback, the physical feedback from the shifting pedals, and then of course the acoustic feedback. I think Leah is enjoying that too. It's really nice. Yeah, I mean, it's really strange, because sometimes in some corners Leah is getting sick depending on the car, and sometimes she's enjoying it. It must really be the physics of each vehicle. We have been driving a CLE 450 Cabriolet earlier. This now here, the AMG version. What would you say? Is it better here in this sportier version? Yeah, it's better? Yeah. It's interesting. You know, sometimes it can be better when the car is sportier, because then it doesn't shake up so much. Here also in Sport or Sport Plus mode, suspension is stiffer. Then maybe you're just getting, you know, more settled in the seat basically. The G-force, of course, just physics the same, but the vehicle shakes up in a different way or not. And yeah, here in the tight corners, the rear exit steering is also active. You really feel it even as a passenger. So especially when you're driving really slowly in the car, it feels almost like the car would be coming around with the rear a little bit. Also the all-wheel drive is rear biased, and the acceleration figure from standstill is 4.2 seconds. 4.4 it would be to 1 kilometers an hour, 62 miles an hour in the CLE 450. Here in the 53 it's 4.2 seconds, so even a little bit quicker. Yeah, that might not be the biggest difference. The bigger difference is that we have here the wider track. That also translates into a better driving experience. So usually, I honestly have to say, in many cases, I'm not a fan of the AMG version of the vehicle, and often have preferred the normal, more comfortable Mercedes version. But in this case here, actually, I have to say that the CLE 53 AMG does indeed not only drive better, but also just from the whole characteristic of the vehicle, it feels more suitable to the car actually. And yeah, that's pretty interesting thing, isn't it? Yeah, or what about that? Maybe a little bit more speed here. Lane change. Whew! Yeah, that gets your adrenaline pumping, doesn't it? Also drop the speed again. Yeah, you really get this, you know, that like this punch with every shifting, and that is also a difference than you only get here in the AMG version. Soon also available the new auto-fuel caps, by the way. We are preparing that at the moment for you. Well, about the CLE here in the AMG version, we had a lot of fun driving it, and it really suits that vehicle to make it a little bit sportier, because it is large and feels kind of heavy, and that's why adding some sportiness is really adding to that whole character of the vehicle. However, when you think about now the C63 or C43 comparison with that 4-cylinder, yes, here you have that 6-cylinder character. That's somehow cooler. But you know, despite all the hate and so on for these four-cylinder vehicles, they are very good in the driving dynamics and feel a little bit lighter. They are also lighter than this one here actually is, so you also have to take that one into account. If you're more fancy maybe checking out that one again, we have the C63 episode for you. If you think about the CLE but not the AMG, a little bit less expensive, we have that one to do for you as well, because this one here at least 90,000 euros and spec'd as it is here right here about 120,000 euros.